Retro Rewind.
This week, we're stepping back to 1982 with Ron Howard's comedy Night Shift, featuring Henry Winkler as a timid morgue attendant and Michael Keaton in his breakout role as an eccentric entrepreneur. This film explores an unconventional business venture that turns the night shift upside down. Does this early 80s comedy still deliver the laughs today? Let's find out.
Oh, let me check. Let me check this real quick. Let's see if there's any kind of Rotten Tomatoes on this.
That'd be interesting. Predating the internet. Love the Rotten Tomatoes for that.
Okay, so we do. Gary, Rotten Tomatoes coming in hot from your radio friend Sack here. The critics have this sitting at 93, Gary.
93.
But you didn't see that one coming.
I did not.
The audience has it at 63. So it's the critics loved it.
Yeah.
So we don't really rate these, do we, Gary?
We don't rate them. I mean, we come back and kind of say whether we think, I mean, this is a movie. For me, this was a movie that I know I saw, but I didn't see till after.
Yeah.
So I saw this probably in our video store days.
Oh yeah.
This wasn't one that I saw around the time period it came out. It would have been later.
Well, yeah, I mean 82. God,
in fact, I was already a huge Michael Keaton fan by the time I saw this.
Because of Batman.
No. Actually, Mr. Mom, Multiplicity, stuff like that. Actually, Multiplicity, I think, came out after Batman. Yeah. But anyway, I digress.
You do.
No, I liked Michael Keaton prior to this, and seeing the Fonz and stuff is always kind of funny.
Yeah. Yes.
Especially in different roles.
Yeah. So that's the thing. Like in this one, he plays such the anti-Fonz.
Right.
He's a total nerd.
Yeah.
Afraid of everything, which was awesome. Look, I'm gonna gush on this one. This film was fun for me. I truly enjoyed this movie. I enjoyed it back then in the 80s when we saw it. I mean, again, I didn't see it when it came out, but this was one of my brother and I, Chainsaw himself. This was like a staple for us. We watched this all the time. There you go. We got a ticker at the bottom there. That was a line my brother used to say all the time.
Okay, hubby, lead the way. Oh, Pepper, Daddy's home.
Good evening, Leonard.
Oh, hi, Mr. Lumley. Oh, that Barney Rubble. What an actor. Oh.
And so as I'm watching this, so much is flooding back to me.
Yeah.
Memory-wise. And I'm just like, oh, my God, I can't wait for this. This is so much fun. And the premise is dumb, but I love it. And I think, and maybe you would know this more than me, Gary, I don't see films like this anymore being made like this today. These kind of comedies where the premise was really out there. I mean, maybe they are. Maybe if you think of like The Hangover, it's a little really out there. And that's kind of what this one is. Like the whole premise is kind of just bizarre.
Silly would be even a better. Silly. It's silly to think that this would be the thought process of some actual people to do this.
I always think about like the pitch for this movie. Hear me out. I got an idea.
Yeah.
And then, you've got the acting. Henry Winkler's fantastic in this movie. Michael Keaton, I think, steals the show in a sense because you're seeing Michael Keaton at his I guess the beginning of this. Michael Keaton, this crazy.
I think this is his debut, really.
I didn't look that up, but I mean, we're seeing this guy that he's just a ball of energy, and he's doing a great job in this film. And then of course you got like Shelley Long, this is pre-Cheers.
Yeah.
Which was always awesome. Do my little thing here, Gary. This was always
I don't think that's the line though. I'm pretty sure that's not what he says.
Well, this is just me reminding Gary to shut up. Let me gush on about this film. Again, this is another. My brother would always walk around with a little tape recorder. Like, this is Tony reminding me to shut up. That was my story of my life. Maybe that's why it means so much to me. But Gary, I want to bring a few slides in, if I may.
Absolutely.
So while we're talking, I got to go through the settings here and bring up. I don't know did you catch all the other actors that kind of showed up in this film that you probably weren't aware of? Were in this film?
Yes, there are two that I would not have known.
Is this one of them?
And yes, that's one of them right there. Yes, correct.
So I didn't catch that till I watched the ending credits. That, my friends, is Kevin Costner.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's Michael Keaton. That's Kevin Costner.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? So I had to go back. Like, wait, I need to see that scene again.
So all you kids that play 6 Degrees of Separation.
Yes. Did you catch this one, Gary?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Well, I didn't know. I did not catch it at the time. No.
I didn't either.
These are both ones that after the fact, I saw the name. I was like, what?
That is Shannon Doherty, ladies and gentlemen.
Right.
And I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
I did not see that.
Now, if you have more than that, shut up. I mean, I knew Clint Howard, of course.
No, I have one more to show you. Okay. This was just a skosh obscure.
Okay.
Does that young lady look familiar at all?
No.
Right there.
See the old people look? Oh, let me have a look at that here, Andy.
Let me show you why you would know that girl right there.
I mean, not at this juncture.
Wait a minute. It didn't click. Does that help?
Ah, okay.
That is
never
Ola Ray.
Never would have put that together.
So Ola Ray is in this film. Now Ola Ray, the only reason I know Ola Ray is because of Michael Jackson's Thriller. And then I did this too, Gary, just because why not? So there's your credits. I'm watching this go, and I'm like, Kevin Costner?
You're like, nuh-uh.
And then it comes down here, and it's like, Shannon Doherty? And then I was like, wait a minute, Gary. Solid Gold Dancers. So
it's got to be lies.
Yeah. Filling up your lights with music. Solid gold. Bam. So anyway, I was little things like that. I just was like, wow, this is fun. So yeah, I mean, the movie is just to be, it's a classic. It is not the greatest comedy out there at all. Don't misunderstand that. But it's one of those ones, which is, I think, what I love about the retro rewind stuff that we do is, I guarantee you most people that watch this, listen to this, I haven't thought about this movie even at all, or since it came out in the early 80s.
Yeah, yeah.
Go back and watch this one, because it's a fun little, it's not going to change your world, but you want to kill a Saturday night because you're sitting at home instead of doing something fun.
Look, let me say a few things here. So I want to say, as far as my take on it, I did not watch it. Like I said, back in the time, it wasn't one that I saw a lot. So there wasn't really a whole lot of nostalgia to it for me.
Oh, wait.
I remembered it because and the thing that, as soon as you said, hey, we should do Night Shift, I'm like, that Barney Rubble, what an actor. That's the first thing that came to mind.
Yes.
So there was a little bit of it that I did recall. But to me, it was okay. I mean, I'm not going to say it wasn't funny, because it was. But for a long portion of it, I was like, it's all right. There's what you could see. The thing that did impress me was, with this being Keaton's first major role, is you could tell by watching that, if you'd have seen it back then, that dude's going to be a star. He's a comedic. He's a perfect comedic actor. I mean, he just
chewed up the scenery.
He was great. It is funny seeing Henry Winkler play the straight man through the whole thing, the whole the wimp, through it. And like you said, Shelley Long was in it, and then there's some other people you expect with a Ron Howard film, you're going to see Clint Howard. So that wasn't a shocker.
And did you catch Richard Belzer?
And Richard Belzer, yeah. What was the guy I was going to?
And I don't know if you caught, also Brian Grazer produced it. So I don't know if this was their beginning, but this is early in their collaborations. Belzer,
yeah. So this was not Ron Howard's first film that he directed. It says it was his second film, but it was his first major hit. It's funny to see people in the beginning of their, like, before they really show their talent.
Yeah, he went on to have some success.
Yeah, quite a bit. So I thought that was a fascinating part about watching it. There were a couple things that kind of drove me nuts about it.
Mm-hmm.
But the one that really got me, the one that aggravated me to no end, is about the last third of the movie. You hear in almost every version you can hear, as far as like, maybe it's just like a sax playing, or maybe it's just instrumental, or maybe it's actually a little bit of singing, or whatever. You hear "That's What Friends Are For" by Rod Stewart in every conceivable way that they could push that song in the last third of the movie.
That is true.
And that actually kind of drove me nuts. I was like, we get it.
Got it.
That this is the song you're so that kind of bugged me a little towards the end.
Well, that, and they kept hammering Jumping Jack Flash.
And
like,
that's
okay,
true.
I got it. Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah. But all that said, I mean, I did enjoy watching it. Will I watch it again? It's probably going to be a long time before I'm ever going to feel the need to.
Another 40 years.
But it was funny. And there are some funny concepts in it. The plot, of course, is ridiculous. But Michael Keaton's character of this entrepreneur coming up with stuff all the time. Oh, I got a note to self kind of thing. You know, I got this idea for microwave clothing. It's always warm. You know.
Yeah, he's always talking stuff into a tape recorder because I'm an idea guy.
Right.
Chuck, hear me out. Listen.
So I never get tired of watching him when he's in comedies. But this is just one that just didn't completely land with me. Sure. And I think it's because I saw it so much later than, like, if I'd have seen this before seeing anything else with Michael Keaton, and I probably would have been like, it's fantastic because of that. But, you know, maybe it's a time thing for me, but yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna say it wasn't a good movie. It's funny.
Where are you at on his idea of feeding the mayonnaise to tuna fish?
I don't think that's a good plan. I don't think that's how it works.
Well, and I will say this: your backdrop is one of the funnier scenes in the movie of Keaton being Keaton.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Where he's breaking down the word prostitution.
Yeah.
Pros.
Exactly.
Well, that doesn't really belong here. Tits. Well, we all know what those are. Shun, to push away. Well, that doesn't really belong in here either.
Right.
It's like you're losing them.
Yeah.
And it's Keaton's delivery is fantastic. You know, it's good stuff. And,
yeah,
it's fun.
Little,
trip down amnesia lane.
One thing I have to mention is that one of the writers, when I saw the name came up, Babaloo Mandel.
Oh, God, yes.
I was like, oh, okay, now that's a name I know. And why do I know it? Well, for one, Multiplicity, which is one of my favorite movies.
I didn't know that.
But my gosh, I was trying to look through here and see all the different movies that this guy was a writer on. And I mean, he goes back to TV series like Laverne and Shirley, Happy Days, stuff like that.
Hello, girls.
Splash Spies Like Us, Gung Ho, another Michael Keaton. Vibes.
Don't remember.
I recognize the name, but Parenthood, City Slickers.
Yeah.
A League of Their Own.
Oh, there's no crying in baseball.
Mr. Saturday Night.
Okay.
City Slickers 2, Multiplicity, Ed TV, Where the Heart Is, Robots, Fever Pitch, Tooth Fairy, more recently. Parenthood, the TV series he was a writer on. Or no, it's based on the characters, my bad.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's like I knew that name. Splash. He was a writer for Splash.
I didn't know the name, but I mean, that guy's got a nice pedigree.
Yeah, I recognized the name and I was like, man, I know that name. And
That's funny that you knew that.
Well, yeah, how do you forget that name if you see
exactly. So I saw the credits roll and I was like, you know what? If I'm a producer, that name jumps out to me. I'm pulling out the script. I need to see if that's on my desk. I was like, I got to see what someone named Babaloo.
Yeah.
Babaloo. Gary, you know, you're also sleeping on, I think, one of the quiet gems of this film, and I'm going to remind you because I know you're holding back. You want me to share that with everybody. The theme song, the night shift theme song, opening credits. by none other than the great Quarter Flash.
Right. You know what's funny is that song started, and Tara goes, "Is that Pat Benatar?" I was like, it does kind of sound like it, but I don't think it is.
Yeah.
And then, of course, it actually shows that in the opening thing that it's Quarter Flash.
I know. I was like,
now I recognize it.
And the reason I say this because of our other podcast we do, and I have Quarter Flash on a list of something we're talking about in Sonic Legacy, and I was like, oh my god, I can't get away from Quarter Flash all of a sudden. It's gonna harden my heart, Gary.
You should swallow your tears.
That's all I got, Garrett. It's a good film. I'm glad we watched it. I'm glad I watched it. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad I saw it too. I mean, I hadn't seen it forever. So,
thank you. This is Andy reminding Gary to shut up. Great stuff. Great stuff.
All right, everyone. Have you seen Night Shift, 1982? That's going back a ways. But I know that we don't have a lot of younger viewers. So,
But they should. This is one you should tell your maybe not your kids.
I don't know. It's the no.
There's some nudity and
real quick before I say bye, I'm watching this movie, and if you'll recall, the last 5 minutes of the movie, Henry Winkler's character goes to this other place to find Shelley Long's character.
Well, it's a love story, Gary. That's what you're stepping on.
Well, there's a scene where Winkler and Keaton run into each other, and in the background there's people lounging, and there's nudity.
Yeah. And
my daughter comes downstairs to talk to me, and I hit pause, and I look up, and I'm like, "That's the worst pause they ever." Like, oh man, wait for the screensaver to kick on. So, anyway, that was great timing for that. But I would not recommend this to my kids. So.
And the truth of it is, this really is a love story wrapped around a bizarre comedy. It's a love story. It truly is. I mean, I'm not even being funny. It's just.
It really is.
And Gary, you never know where you find love.
There was one other person in it. I don't know his name. I don't have it on my list. So you'll forever wonder who I was talking about.
Oh, remember that one guy that cut?
Remember?
Go to Static.
Remember him?
Remember Gary?
I remember. All right. See you guys. Say bye, Andy.
Goodbye.
Hello, this is Chuck to remind Bill to shut up.
The Tommy twins are at it again, hoping to plaster your face with a grin. We're taking it back to a good old time when Hollywood had hit their stride. We're talking about nostalgic flicks, and we're hoping to get some like button clicks. Flick flops, retro rewind, going back to a better time when the movies with your honey didn't cost so much damn money. Flick flops, retro rewind.
This has been a Touch of Madness production, brought to you by the creative minds at Tommy Twins Media.